speak German then?
You can.
No, we won't.
Oh, no?
Oh.
Okay. Right, we will kick off with James from Sky Sports News, please.
Oliver, good to see you. Congratulations, September Premier League Manager of the Month and Austrian Manager of the Year as well. I know you're a humble guy. I'm sure you won't take any credit for it whatsoever. But how does it feel to be awarded those two awards?
Thank you. But of course, it's a great honor. But today was the first time all players were back from their international duties, and I said thank you to the players and to my staff because they are responsible that I got this award. So we couldn't achieve anything if we didn't work together as a team. And again, the players have to perform that well. They have to win all the games. They have to win trophies. Otherwise, it's not possible. So yes, it's an honor for me, but all the credit belongs to all of us. And I said to them, it's not my award, it's our award. And so is how I see it.
They said the players are back from international break. How are the players, first of all? It's always a tricky time for a club manager when you watch them fly all over the world and hope that they come back safe and sound.
Yes, they came back safe. So and all are doing well. So I think it went quite how it should be. So everyone, it looks like almost everyone, they succeeded. Yeah, they won games. Success with their teams, individuals scored goals like JP having the first start for France and scoring. Jeff Lerma scored, Jeremy Pino scored, Isma Sarr scored. So, and I was speaking to them, I think, so it looks like we have 10, 12, 14 players playing the World Cup next year. And I think that just shows the development of Crystal Palace. Yeah? So not just being international and going somewhere, so really playing the big tournaments with your national team and being regular starters there. So yes, was very positive. Of course, a few like Chris Richards, Walter Benitez, Rio Cardins, Uche, they just came back yesterday, so had their only training today. And but yeah, with a great mood here at the training ground, and it's all fine. All players are fit, all are available. We have no injuries at the moment, so fingers crossed that this stays. And just the long terms, of course, Chadi Riyad and Cheick Doucouré, but all others are fit and available.
Is Chadi back in training now?
No, unfortunately, we expected him now, but it takes maybe 1-2 more weeks. So we said it's such a long period, and we don't take any kind of risk, because the worst thing that can happen is he starts training and maybe then he has to go out of the training again. You know, this makes you crazy as a player. So we want that he's that stable, that he stays in training with us. And so we were not 100% convinced. So that's why we said, okay, give him 1 or 2 more weeks. He's doing his rehab on the pitch already. He's doing a lot of work. But of course, and especially the next 2 weeks, honestly, we don't really train. So we have with 5 games, and especially from Thursday till Saturday, we have 4 games within 9 days. And so I think after this period, he will be with us.
You mentioned the international players and how well they were doing. You mentioned JB scoring for the first time, making his France debut. How impressed are you with his character to be able to come into international football at the age of 28, which we don't often see at all, really, that players join their international setup later? How impressed have you been, and what is it about JP that keeps him so determined to prove people wrong and succeed?
I've mentioned it so often. He's just a great guy. Yes, a great person. He's always smiling, always happy, and he has his goals, and he's working so hard. So it's not no gift from the French national team that he was invited. So he deserved it, yeah, because he's performing well, and also not just for 2 weeks, so really now for months, and maybe so I just consider since we arrived for 1.5 years, he scores goals regularly. He's always a threat for every defense. So even when he missed a few chances in the last games for us, but he's always a threat, and every manager is looking for a striker who threatens the defense of the opposition, and everybody is looking for a striker who can score goals, and JP proved it, and that's why he deserved it. And yeah, he did the same what he did for us, so he played and scored. So of course, it was great for him and great for us, and it was just very, very positive.
I can ask you, how's his reaction been to this Wilfried Zaha video that he posted on social media regarding the fact that JB potentially misquoted speaking to L'Équipe about the motivation to play international level, the fact that when he was at Palace at the start of his career, it was mentioned that to him by some players that maybe it's going to be tough for you to play for France, or you may never get the opportunity to play for France, and then it's kind of been taken out of context. How's JP reacted to that?
I don't know anything about it, so and I don't speak with my players about the social media activities, because then it's a 24 hours job, and it's with more important things to talk about than about social media things. So I don't know anything about it, and I didn't talk to JP, and I couldn't see any negative or positive influence. So he was, when he came back from France, and he was just very, very, he was delighted and happy and positive. So I don't know.
Okay, let's talk about something more important. Your contract. Steve Parish said in the week that early discussions have been made between the two parties. Now, one thing he did say was that you wanted conditions to be favourable in order to achieve things at Crystal Palace in order to potentially sign a new contract. Can I ask you what those conditions are for you?
I met Steve, so when I came back from, I also was on international duty at home, so big duties at home. I came back on Sunday, met Steve Sunday afternoon at the NFL game, and we talked. I met him on Tuesday for dinner, we talked. I met him on Wednesday in the House of Commons, and we talked. And he's here today, and we just talked. That's why I'm a little bit late. So we are talking almost every day, and it's it's not that I need conditions or I want something. Crystal Palace wants to be successful. Yeah? So Crystal Palace wants to continue this pathway, and not just the last 18 months. And it's also, when you see, it was more always between 10, 11 and 14, 15, yeah, and then it's it now in the last years it goes, let's say, more to 10 to 12, yeah. And also Crystal Palace don't want to say, okay, we are fine when we go back to 14 or 15 again. Yeah? And now is what we are always discussing, how we can, or how we think that we have the best chance that we can continue this pathway. And Oliver Glasner doesn't have the final solution, and Steve Parish doesn't have. But when we discuss about it, what's possible, what we can do, and if we working together and having a relationship together just makes sense if you have the same goals, if you have the same vision, because otherwise you can't be successful. Yeah? If wherever it is in any company, if let's say two leaders, they have different visions, then you go separate ways, and then you can't achieve your goal. And that's what we are talking about. And if we can find the same pathway, the same goal for Crystal Palace, not for Oliver Glasner, for Crystal Palace, then we will end the talks. And if we don't find, we will also end the talks.
We're going to be asking you this question every single week. It's a question that
every third day, because we play so many games. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Look, let's finally, before I pass you on, talk about Bournemouth. I've got two kind of questions with regards to Bournemouth. One is, it's become apparent actually looking back through Crystal Palace's recent history post-international break, seems to be times the club struggled a little bit on the pitch, not necessarily picking up victories, certainly in the league. First one is, why do you think that is the case? Is it because of the international element of Crystal Palace with players, as you mentioned at the start, playing all over the world and a lot of players coming back late? Is that the reason?
Honestly, I told the players today after the session, I told them that it always looks like that it takes a little bit longer, that we are back in our rhythm, and the only ones who can solve it are the players. But on the other side, maybe we play a little bit different than they are used to play. We play back three, you can say. Yeah. Let's say Dani Munoz plays a full back, and now he plays a wing back. He can be more attacking. Yeah, maybe we have a little bit different patterns than they are used to have with their international teams. It's completely normal. Maybe this is as every team struggles with that, but now it's and Bournemouth, and I think they have the same issue. They have many international players. Also, I know Senesi came back with Walter Benitez today, so he will be the first day in training today as well for Bournemouth, and he will play tomorrow. I expect him to play, we can prove we can change it. The only ones who can, so we can't expect that Bournemouth comes with the white flag and makes it easier for us. So the only one who can change it are we, and we will try to do it.
And the final one is, if you look back, obviously the last 4 games, Palace failed to score against Bournemouth. What is it about Bournemouth and Andoni Iraola's setup maybe that's made it quite tricky for you in terms of attacking wise?
Do you have a mic in our here? Because we had a meeting and it's the same what I told the players. Yeah? It's time to change it. It's time to score against them. But honestly, they are doing so well at high appreciation what Iraola is doing at Bournemouth. So when you see, it's not just what they're doing, how they are doing it. They have most high intensity runs all over the league, the most sprinting distance all over the league, always pressing, always, and this makes it so difficult for you to get into their final third because you always have pressure. You know, they're attackers, they are sprinting and sprinting always. Putting pressure on the defenders, and you have no time to build up, that makes it challenging. On the other side, we can see that we are also, when we played there, we had our chances. It was always so. The last 3 games, since I'm in charge, so we conceded 1 and we didn't score any. So it was they scored 1 and we 0. So I don't expect a 3-3 tomorrow, honestly. But of course, we want to score because we want to win.
Thanks, Oliver.
No.
Congratulations again. Well done for the award, Manager of the Month. I can imagine that every one of us has an idol or a mentor. When you started management, who was the manager you were looking up to as a mentor, as an idol?
No, not really one. You know, it's when you are a player for many years, you're working together with many great managers, and you take all the positive things. Sometimes also you say, okay, that's maybe I don't use for my career, and then of course you're always looking at let's say state-of-the-art managers, and it changes over time. Football changes, and you can't say because when I started 10 years ago, this manager was my role model, then now I can say I do the same 10 years later, because then times have changed. So it's always, and I can tell the players what I'm convinced of. So being authentic is for me is the most important part of being a manager, and so that's everything I'm telling the players. It's 100% Oliver Glasner, and because this is what they deserve, and it's the only thing I can really talk about. And of course you have influence from everywhere, from different managers, from different kind of football, from your experiences all over life, and then I try to stick it together and be the best version of myself.
The award you won, obviously there were 4 candidates, including yourself. 2 of them, Arteta and Guardiola, probably will compete for the Premier League title. It's a personal award, but for you it gives you another evidence of your ability as a manager to compete with the very best. We saw it against Liverpool, we saw it last season as well, with the very best managers.
I don't see it. So Andoni and me, we won't have a battle tomorrow. Yeah? We will say hello. Maybe we talk afterwards. So it will be on the pitch. That is, it will be decided who wins. So every manager has his ideas, and Iraola has. I really love what he's doing. But at the end it's 11 against 11 on the pitch, and so I was a little bit surprised that this manager of the month is that big here in England. You know, for me, it's not really important. It's September, especially September. You know, when it's, and I told the players. So again, it's our award, but doesn't really be important for us. So we want. I think we play for other trophies to win, and not for a manager of the month trophy or for something else.
19 games unbeaten run. It's officially over now.
Come on, I don't. It's the next knife.
Well,
Come on, really, today I started to forget the Everton game, and you start again.
Frank, will motivate you ahead of the next 20. I mean, what has been the key for this wonderful run, and how confident are you that you can start a new run, maybe even more successful?
Most important thing is that you don't talk and think about the run, yeah. Because the next game, you always have to need to win the next game, and it's like when you go into the casino and it's 10 times red, everybody expects that black is more likely, but it isn't. It's the same if you are 19 games unbeaten. To lose or not lose is the same chance, and now it's the same. We start again against Bournemouth. It makes no difference if it would be the 21st game, or it's now the first we can start. So it's really to show our performance, to be the best of ourselves, and be competitive. And then again, makes no sense. I think we can have 19 games until the end of this year if we qualify for the quarterfinal in the Carabao Cup. So then you see how tight the schedule will be in the next 2.5 months, 19 games. So quite busy. And if you ask me on the 1st of January that we are still unbeaten, I would really love it.
Andoni Iraola, how impressive is his ability to carry on improving Bournemouth, even if they lose key players, they keep on evolving, they keep on competing. What impressed you most about Andoni Iraola?
The style of playing stayed the same, but also here it's yes, they lost 3 of their back 4, but just 2 new players are playing, yeah? So it's also very consistent, and the goalkeeper. So, but from the on-field players, regularly they start with 2 new players. Yeah, it's Diakité and Truffert. Senesi was there. All other players, their whole attack stayed there. Yeah? They extended Semenyo's contract. Also, that showed their ambition. Yeah, that they said, okay, we want to continue our pathway. Also, then they signed Diakité, I think, for £40 million. Also, they showed, okay, we want to buy a starter immediately if we sell both of our centre backs. It just shows their ambition and the style they're playing. And of course, this is what I expected is the same, and the players are used to it. Yeah? And then also you see it's for the new players in the attack, like Doak, like Adli. It's not so easy to get into the team, because the players who were already there, they know exactly what they have to do, and especially in their attack, they have to stretch your defense. They have to make so many runs in behind. They have to press with the highest intensity, and maybe new players need time to get adjusted to this, and that's why maybe again I don't know, but that's why he sticks to the players who were already there, and it's a very consistent team and very completely. Typical style of playing, and doing a great job there.
Thank you. That's the end of the broadcast.